Welcome everyone, I'm the Depressed Dior, and this is Langrisser Mobile. It's been another 4 or 5 weeks, so it's time for new characters. For this month, we got new exclusives. This is from Valkyria Chronicles, which I've played a little bit of. It's an interesting game, but not one I could really stick with. I believe I mentioned a little bit about them on my last Apex video. Overall, they're kind of meh at best. I think one of the characters is actually okay. Let me see if I can take a look at her. I can't look at here. Actually, I can look. Sylvaria. Alicia supposedly does reasonably well. Now, granted, this was based off some information from like when Chinese servers got these characters, it was actually pretty much at the tail end of their season, so most players didn't actually have very many opportunities to show them off. In any case, they are both female characters, so I'll be trying to get both. And as I was trying to get gear ready for both of them, I was kind of looking over their kits, and honestly, their kits are very interesting. So hopefully I can get both of them, and hopefully I can get multiple copies. There is a new SR character, Isara. I have already unlocked her. She's only 2 stars at the moment. Most people say she is absolutely horrible for a free SR. Looking over her kit, she does kind of provide some interesting things. The overall view is she's kind of like a master of, or a jack of all trades, master of none type situation. She has like tanking abilities, healing, AoE, crazy things like that. Looking at her kit, she might be someone I want to try using, but only once I get her to higher star levels, and assuming I'm still using AoEs. Anyway, enough rambling. Let's go ahead and dive into this. Summons. I am 10 towards pity at the moment. I know last summon video I had pretty insane luck. I did do the equipment banner where we had the wish list type equipment banner. I actually had pretty bad rates on that, so I'm hoping that'll balance things out because that was a bit costly. So we'll see how it goes. Probably the biggest disappointment bit about the exclusive characters for this, well, actually, it's kind of an issue with all the exclusives, with the exception of like the first 2, and that's the fact that Time Faction hasn't gotten any new faction buffers. The only one you can get for free is Angelina, who's better now, but she's still not very good to say the least. I mean, she's an okay healer, but okay in the grand scheme of things, when you have characters like Liara and TRS and things like that, it's being decent or good is not good enough in Apex usually. And the other 2 faction buffers were literally on the first 2 exclusive events. There was Joshua and Yusuke from Yu Yu Hakusho, and no other faction buffers. So it's kind of ridiculous. And I kind of lost count, I apologize. But it looks like we're going towards pity. I was kind of shocked that Sylvaria wasn't made into like a faction buffer, because she's kind of like a leader type. I think she's even a general in the setting, but I don't remember. But the only thing they gave her was a very flexible group, an AoE buff, which has only 2 duration. If it was 4 duration, it would probably be at least okay. The other issue some people have had is the fact that Sylvaria was not made into a Lancer. For anyone that's not familiar with the game, Sylvaria was one of the key story points was she showed up with essentially a shield and a lance, which was pretty unique in a setting that was all about guns and tanks and grenades. And she was like able to like deflect like literally tank shells with her shield type situation, and her lance was able to shoot like electricity that like blew up vehicles. I think next is Pity. So they were kind of expecting like, hey, you know, maybe like a leader, faction buffer, tank type, and instead she's essentially an assassin. She's essentially like a long-range Zerida. Yeah, so that was 10, I'm pretty sure. And that's kind of the biggest issue with Sylvaria. Well, there's a few issues with Sylvaria, unfortunately. I was about to click skip. Literally the last summon. Alright, there's Sylvaria. Alright, no double. Azure Witch, an elite commander of the Imperial Army who wields the terrible Valkyrie power. Alright, well, not the best start, but at least we got a character and it wasn't off-banner. But yeah, her biggest issue is she has plus crit and crit damage, but she doesn't have anything like plus damage in her talents, nor does she have plus attack. So that definitely ends up costing her. So I'm a little concerned about how well she can actually assassinate. But she does have some gimmicks where she can actually attack the troops. Oh, within 30, not bad. But you have to do it at her maximum transform range, and her transform range is very similar to Zerida's, where it only lasts 1 turn. Sylvaria again. Okay. Like I said, I do want duplicates. Though at this point, I'm probably not going to be using Sylvaria until I go back to single target in my Apex box. Nope. Alright. Keep on going. We have enough for two pities at least. Would rather it not be pities, but we'll see. But yeah, her classes for Sylvaria is infantry, sword infantry, and archer. And I think Alicia is both archers, and Isara is archer and cavalry, and our cavalry sprite is literally a tank. Not sure if this is 30 or 40, but I'll assume 30 at the moment. We'll know once I hit pity. Well, there's 4 SRs at least. Fortunately, all my SRs except for Isara and Lisa are maxed out. Alright. Nope. So we're below average again. Honestly, even the SR rate's looking pretty bad. I'm just getting nothing but Rs. I think we're up to 70. Yeah, not a great rate. There is a new covenant. I haven't unlocked it yet because I haven't actually been doing the covenants very much. I have to do the first 6 stages of the previous covenant to even unlock this one. and I had only unlocked the first one. That was some weird lag. Alright, well. I think this is 80. Yeah, I'm not sure if I hit pity or not there. I kind of was not paying attention. It is 6 a.m. right now. Alright, who do we get? Nope. Nope. Lots of Letitias. Okay, we got one of each. So that's good. Guardian Valkyria, a young girl who bravely carries the destiny of the Valkyria and fights for peace. Alright, well, we have enough for one more pity. Yeah, this rate's not been great. But with how it was on the previous summon batch, I can't really complain too much. Oh, that's 50, so I'm already below average. Okay, that was only one SR. Yep, looks like I'm going pity. This is 90, I believe. Yep, I'm going to pity. Yeah, this is a terrible rate. I'm pretty sure the last batch was actually to pity, but I lost count. So let's stop this up with an off banner, just to really twist the knife here. Oh, Sylvaria. So my Sylvaria is still 4 stars. Yep, pretty awful. So I'll go ahead and... I was going to go all in anyway, so I have enough to do 20 summons, so I will. And last batch. Nope. Alright. So... that was what, 350 summons, give or take? It's either 330 or 350, and I got 4 SSRs. Even the SR rate was bad, so yeah, pretty abysmal. I will probably keep summoning on this throughout the next couple of weeks. I don't know what the next I don't know what the next SSRs are. I think it's the one that has the dual attack intelligence type style, but I don't remember. In any case, give me one moment. Okay, got everyone leveled up as much as I could. Got all their bonds unlocked, all that stuff. I did get a few more gems from all the unlocks, so we'll do one more 10 pull here. And then we'll dive into Awakenings. Nope. Just one SR as well. Alright. So we'll start with Isara first. Okay. So Isara's thing is if she's at 80% or more HP, she reduces physical damage taken. At 6 stars, this reduces damage by 30%, which is about the equivalent of most tanks. When you're attacked by a straight line AoE skill, allies behind you will take reduced damage essentially. If this was all AoEs and just be in based off the AoEs like focal point or whatever, this actually probably be pretty good. But line AoEs are not that common. Autocratos pretty much the only one I see commonly on Apex nowadays. Sometimes you may see a Clotaire, and that's about it. Personally, I use a few more line AoEs, but that's because I tend to play my own little builds. But yeah, unfortunately, this is pretty niche. Her skills, as mentioned, she has access to healing that scales off an attack. It actually also gives a HP regen after taking action too, which is kind of neat. She has an AoE that reduces defense, nothing too special. She does have some passive. She's got things like defense command. She has attack break. She also has snare, ram. She can actually tank physical if you need her to, and then she has mass protect. So like I mentioned before, she kind of has a little bit of everything. She's kind of all over the place. As for anything like if you want to try to use her as like a tanking AoE type, I mean, your best bet is probably Golden Knights. You do have access to Dwarf Adventurers, but honestly, I don't think those would do very well. I don't know, it might be okay. But Golden Knights, she's one of the few people that can actually use them. It's actually pretty decent if you set her up as cavalry class, which speaking of, I have her set up as cavalry. Right now her gear is just this. I have her with clock because I intend on using her. If I do use her, it's going to be with for AoEs. And let's go ahead and dive into Awakenings here. I'm happy as long as my inventions can be of some help to the team. Sure. Alright, what type of components? An Almeda, an Alicia, and a Sylvaria. Okay. Shouldn't be too bad. We don't really need AoEs for this one, so we'll switch to Ram. Switch to Ram, and I guess Lance Phalanx. Yeah, that's kind of my only options. Alright, and she has that. Okay. So we'll dive into this and see what happens. Alright, so her range should be all the way to there. Yep. Alright, so we're gonna open with Lance Phalanx, get some. It's basically just for the fixed damage. Alright, so I took a random debuff from her, no surprises there. Alright, run around. Okay, not too bad. Most of my damage is probably from the cav. I was able to do ram because I clock procced. It's a cool looking buff though. The command orders or whatever it's called. Yeah, Order of the Guardian. Alright, reapply buff. There you go. Yeah, my like I mentioned, I think I mentioned it already, but my troop training's pretty much maxed out at this point. Like all the passives, all the stat increases for all types. So my calves actually do really good damage, and I do extra damage per step I move. So since I'm cav as well, I do extra movement. Also, the gold knights get extra attack and defense if you happen to be a cavalry class. All right. So next, we go ahead and dive into this. Oop, wrong one. As long as the Edelweiss is still operational, we in Squad 7 are sure to win the fight. Edelweiss is the name of the tank. Okay. So she went the actual archer class, and she went with artillery. Okay, that's not that bad. She did not get the, she doesn't have the extra move again. This is gonna give attack buffs, and this will do that. Okay. Alright. I'm okay with replacing this with an AoE. Actually, I'm kind of okay with just doing that. Okay. This AoE's 3 range, yes. So I might be zapped, but that's about it. You're probably going to stay in place. Okay, let's dive in. Yeah, go be bait. Oh yeah, Alicia's things, a lot of her abilities have limited ammo. The only one that Gunfire Barrage, once you run out of ammo, will become Reload, which when you use it, you'll get back your 3 shots and you recover like 50% of your health. All the other ones that have limited use, once you use them all, that's it, and she can't use that skill anymore. So she has limited grenades and limited extra movement ability. Alright, so this one's attack, I'm assuming. So your options are attack, int, defense, magic defense. This is one of the few abilities that that actually does defense and magic defense as not a faction buff. It even does 30% magic defense, so it's actually pretty good. And then the last one's increased crit chance. Oh wow, that's... Oh, is that mass? I did not realize that. It still only lasts 2 turns, which sucks, but... Yeah, being mass is not bad. That's fine. Okay, you're doing crit. Okay. So with this, I can do that. Give me a second. There we go. Hopefully that didn't mess with the recording. Alright, yeah, I think... Reduces defense? Yeah. We'll do that first. Oh, right. If you're within range of Sylvaria's aura, which is part of her passive, and you're at 100% life, you actually take fixed damage. It only happens when you're at full life, though. Just doing some extra damage there. Ow. Alright, I'm just gonna do a regular shot on you. Used your... Okay, use that skill. Oh yeah, what's crazy about Gunfire Barrage is it's a single target skill that doesn't actually have a cooldown. If I run, so one thing Alicia can do is she gets extra mobility if she runs through units, and the number of units she passes through actually gives her a buff, stackable up to 2 times. But it does have a cooldown. So what do I want to risk here? I think I'm just gonna go this way and deal with you. Managed to live, there's that. Blast. God, that damage. Wow. Okay, I'm impressed. Well, I have my clock proc at least. Or do I go for heals? Well, either way. I can do this at least. I'm not gonna be able to block magic anyway. So you used your ability already. Oh, got her. That's good. Okay, I can target tiles. That's good. I'm gonna get killed by the AoE. Well, not much I can do about it then. Force Scout. Yeah, so she's gonna line AoE me. There it is. Oh my god, that damage. I'm surprised she lived. Alright, so you're gonna move up. That's fine. Let's move here for now. Move up. Not enough. Oh, that'll do it. That too. Okay, cool. Alright. So we get fire suppression. So animation. Okay. So fire suppression. It's a 4-range AoE. There's not very many things that... Actually, the only time I've ever seen like a 4-range AoE is usually through Lana, because of Lana's passive. But yeah, it's a 3-span, 4-ranged AoE. Does 0.4 times AoE damage, so it's pretty good. Super effective against infantry, reduces mobility by 2, and makes them unable to guard. I think the unable to guard part is separate, which if that's true, that it means it will actually work against Hilda. And then after you use the skill, you can move 3 additional blocks. So it was like a 5 mobility cavalry. She essentially has a 9 range with her AoE, and she can move back 3 spaces, which is not something you see too often with a lot of AoE characters. And she's tanky on top of that, so that's why I'm kind of interested in trying her out as just a tanky AoE type. So got that. All right, next. Let's do Sylvaria. Alright, soldiers. I'm right now using Forest Knight Elves. I am using her Archer class, which looks pretty cool. She starts with a rifle that her last class has the sniper rifle thing. Here's her gear right now. I'm using... I she's not very mobile, and I actually don't want her to be mobile because you actually want her farther back. So I have her using Rough Sea for now for the extra attack, and we're gonna dive in. Even at the risk of my own life, I will achieve the glory that belongs to Lord Maximilian. Also, I didn't talk about her skills. So she does have access to Sword Infantry class, so she does end up getting access to Air Slash. We've already seen Order of the Guardian. Her unique passive is on defensive terrain, she gets additional crit chance and fixed damage increases by 30%, and she gets increased healing. Her unique single target is 1.5 times damage. That reduces the range of the enemy by 1, and it can't be dispelled for 1 turn. Which is pretty neat. She does have access to detect and snipe and some of those abilities as well. These are all fine. Okay. Oh, actually, yeah, this is fine for this battle. All right, so Awakening. All right, we got Isara, which I think is different. Yeah, we have Alicia. Alicia's in the back now. Okay. All right. Do this first. Take break. Alright, you don't have extra movement, do you? You do not. Alright, here goes nothing. Okay, I'm able to do enough damage. Pretty straightforward. I wish instead of her little command thing, she actually had a faction buff, as I mentioned before. Anyway, when my life reaches its end, you will see the true Valkyria power. Indeed. Alright, not much to talk about for this battle. It's pretty much all the same, it's just now I'm using Sylvaria instead. If I'm in Forest, I can get First Strike, which would be nice. What's their Sylvaria using? Oh, right, I can use Order of the Guardian for this one. So we will. What's her other ability? She's an ambush. Reduces mobility, can't guard. That's fine. Alright. Oh yeah, I messed that up. Oh well. Not much I can do about it. Oh wow. Actually kinda glad she did that. Well, attack you in melee. Not much you can do, so it's just gonna be you. Right a tat tat. You don't have AoE. Okay, yeah, that's all fine. I could move up. It would provoke a AoE though. So let's not. Perfect. Okay. So with that, I can now do this. Be nice if I can take you out. 1.5, 1.5. Both are the same. Perfect. Two, three. Okay, that's a 3-span ability. I'm trying to see if I can actually do enough damage to kill it. Or kill her, rather. Probably not. Almost. Not quite enough. That's gonna hurt. Okay. We're okay. For now. Can't do anything there. Not quite enough. That works. Cool. Alright. Awakening successful. Alright, so now we have Might of the Valkyrie. Alright. So, this is her gimmick. Using restores 30% of the unit HP and renders the unit unable to move again, or be teleported, and increases crit chance by 20%. Using a skill increases range by 7. The closer to the enemies, the less damage dealt after entering battle. Up to 35%. Lasts 1 turn. After use, the skill is swapped for Valkyria Flash. After taking action next turn, the skill automatically swaps again. So it's just like Zerida's transformation, where it transforms into that one attack skill, and then it switches back. If she uses it, it'll switch, and even if she doesn't, her buff will wear off, and it'll switch back anyway. But Valkyria Flash attacks a single target, dealing 1.4 times damage that ignores guard. If the target is 9 or more blocks away, hero damage dealt is increased by 20%, and the soldiers of both sides cannot attack. Instead, damage is dealt directly to the hero. So it kind of does a Zerida thing, but only at maximum range. I'm pretty sure Valkyria Flash has 2 range, so with the +7, that puts it at 9 exactly. So the biggest issue is it's similar to Zerida. Zerida requires a lot of setup to make her work, and a lot of the more recent assassins don't have that sort of a requirement. Sylvaria has it. It's even worse for her because she can't move. Probably the easiest way to use her, if you do intend on using her, is having someone that has an act again, so they can immediately throw that on her, and she can take advantage of the snipe. But yeah, it's really interesting. It's super long range, which is I've always liked messing around with long range characters like young Jessica, Tensei Jessica, and Lucretia and stuff like that. So got that for her. All right, one more character. This video is long. I apologize. Alicia. Okay. So yeah, her thing, like you've seen kind of her abilities, but she also has this one, Righteous March. She dispels 1 debuff and restores half her life, and allows her to move an additional 2 spaces and attack. But it can only be used 3 times. It does have a 1-turn cooldown, so it does have a slight cooldown, I suppose. But actually, with the act again, it pretty much ensures that she can. It automatically refreshes. Anyway, soldiers. She does have access to siege ballistas, which is kind of weird. I was kind of It feels like it should be on Sylvaria. Pretty much her best troops is probably Firebrand Sniper. Siege ballistas are also pretty good because she can make it so she doesn't move by using her move again. But yeah, that's at least my opinion. I will do whatever it takes to protect everyone, even if I must use the Valkyrie power. Alright. This one should be pretty straightforward. I'm just seeing if there's any skills I want besides the grenade, and the answer is no. Alright. I'm not sure. That's so weird how that move. Oh yeah, I didn't even go over her stuff. Her attack increases by a percentage. All terrain is treated as planes, and when passing through units and the surrounding one block, she can negate the mobility. So that's why she's able to move 4 spaces here, because she's going straight into an adjacent person. For every one enemy unit passed through, she gets before attacking or using an AoE skill, she gets Intelligence Report, which increases damage dealt by 8%, and damage taken decreases by 20%, and it's stackable. It stacks up to 2 times, only lasts for 1 turn, and once you trigger it, it goes on cooldown for 4 turns. Anyway. Rat-a-tat-tat. I do need to go back to Sylvaria and actually show her abilities, but I think we kind of already got the gist of it. Oh wow. Oh, there you go. Fire branch line. Yeah. What's interesting about Alicia is she actually gets her own Sword Souls type ability as an archer. She can actually potentially tank bust, which is kind of crazy. I might actually die from this. Yeah, I do have Clock of Forgiveness. Because of the fancy what do you call it? The building that gives you 2 Clocks of Forgiveness if you max it out. Alright, I'm at full health now, so I should be okay. Yeah. I do have last rites on this character. I didn't show her gear. Essentially she has pretty much the same gear as Sylvaria, but she's using Breeze. Since she's one of those run and gun types. Alright, so there's the 6 point, but before I go in, Sylvaria, there she is. So yeah, just to show off her talent, crit and chance and damage increased by 20%. After enemies within 3 blocks, it goes up to 5. If they're 100% life, they take fixed damage. That's it. So yeah, that's her problem. Her talent doesn't give her a damage increase, nor does it give her an attack increase. It's just crit. Alright, so Awakening. Time for the last one. I carry the fate of Valkyria so that the flowers of peace can bloom here again. Done. Alright. So nothing new here. She's just in the back row now. Has this similar stuff than me, but I can actually move again. Okay. Okay, we're gonna move back. Yeah, she's going to be able to move 2 additional spaces. Or 1 additional space at least. Oh no, she's already moving on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's as far as she goes. Okay, got it. Okay, moving here should be... Actually, depending on how she moves, it's going to be a possible issue. So we'll do this for now. Actually, no, don't do that. We'll do that for now. Alright, attack increase. I'm a little surprised that Isara doesn't actually get to terrain negation with her when she's a tank. But it is what it is, I suppose. Alright. Can I beat her? Let's find out. Righteous March. Give a buff. Fire away. Alright, I won. I think you're too far. Yep. Okay. Should be able to safely go here. Well, actually, no, that's not safe, but that's okay. Yep. It's alright. The fact I was able to kill the stronger Alicia made the trade worthwhile. Alright, I'm a line AoE now. Okay. Okay. No! That's bad. Yeah, so now it's a race to do the AoE damage as necessary. That should be good enough. Messy fight, but it's enough. And there you go. Alright, Reserve Sting. Alright, attacks a single enemy in a straight line, dealing 1.6 times damage, has 2 range. Before battle, restore 100% life, dispel 5 buffs, and reduce the enemy's defense by 30%. Lasts for 2 turns, cannot be dispelled. After battle, deals an additional 0.25 times AoE damage to enemies within 4 blocks in the same straight line. So yeah, this can theoretically can possibly do some tank busting, because you dispel their buffs, you're at full life, you debuff their defense, you do 1.6 times damage. Then you hit them for additional AoE damage, and then on top of all that, if they're not immune to fixed, you'll hit them again for 15% of their maxed HP, not their current. So she can potentially do quite a bit of damage, and with her Force Scout talent, she can definitely get a lot of mobility. The only thing that kind of sucks about her is her factions. especially for me since I don't use any of those faction buffers at all. But that's it for right now. I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I am the Depressed Eagle. This was Langrisser. I'll see you guys next time.